But I felt like I found, when I
Fountain
tell
hopping,
you,
pee.
the people I went to high school with, when I walked in, I thought, oh my God. But when I got here, I found my people.
Yeah.
I did. I felt like I found my people.
Your peeps.
Yeah.
Well, once you had got your period, yeah. You know, it's a natural progression.
All right, Don.
Okay,
Okay, Steve.
All right, man of the hour.
I was growing up in West Virginia, and I was
God,
absolutely bored with West Virginia and kept trying to find a way to get out. When I was in junior high school, I was 14, and my mother had died, and I knew that one of my older brothers had gone to high school with a person who had been a page in Washington. I didn't know anything more about that. I just knew that this person, high school age, in Congress. So I kept thinking about that, and then when I was in the 10th grade, a good friend of mine I was in school with, his mother was a secretary to one of the state delegates, because Charleston was the state capital. And he asked me if I wanted to go with him one day to be a page on the floor of the West Virginia legislature. And we did it. It was fun, and running papers back and forth between offices and all this, and I remembered that a guy had gone to school with one of my brothers. So I wrote a letter to my congressman. I was in the 10th grade. He was acquainted with my father. They weren't friends, but they were acquainted. And I just said, can you tell me about, I know there are pages in Congress, how this works, how do you become one? And he just wrote back and said, how would you like to come up for your senior year? And I thought, wow, it's that easy. So I couldn't find, I thought, good, this is my ticket out. I wanted to get out, and so I finished my junior year on a Friday, and on that Sunday, I was on a plane to Washington. It was the first week in June, '76. And just kind of didn't look back at that point because I was just so happy to get out. Now, I have told people over the years, I've had a lot of fun in my 56 years. But the only year, if I were ever given the option to repeat, would be that year as a page. And even though there were some incredible highs and amazing lows that year, I would be prepared to go through that year again. I can't say as much fun as I've had that I would be willing to go through any of the other years I've ever had. And indeed, it did change the direction. I think I would have found my way out of West Virginia. I'm not quite sure how that would have taken me, but I was determined to get out. But it's probably the single most influential factor I've had in my life.
I totally agree.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.